Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Ask Me Monday. I'm Vicki Howell, here with you as I am 3 Mondays of every month at 12 p.m. Central, or the replays anytime, courtesy of Knitter's Pride. Thanks to the support of Knitter's Pride if you are in North America, or Knit Pro if you are anywhere else. I am able to bring you weekly episodes live and also posts on my website, VickiHowell.com, that offers bonus content as well as links to. So that's pretty much how my day's going. How about you? I don't know about you, but I'm having a really hard time concentrating. Let's be honest, right? The world is in a state right now. And so that's why it's so important for us to be here together. And I feel personally so grateful always, but especially right now for my knit hive, my knit community, and craft and crochet community. The fact that we are all here together really is just one of those things that is going to get us through this very hard time. So we will start today, as we do every episode, where we tell each other where we're watching from. I am here at my home studio in Austin, Texas, and it looks like Amber's here from Minnesota. And also, will you keep talking? I'm going to pick up what I just dropped. Also, if we can talk about how we are being creative right now during this time where we're all kind of hunkered down. It's so important. It's always important to take time to be creative, but especially now, a way to channel all of that anxiety and anxious energy into something positive is by picking up a knitting project, a paintbrush, a guitar, a pen and paper, however it is that you express yourself. It's really important that you do that right now. So hi to Connie, who's watching in Wisconsin. Oh, Rhonda also in Wisconsin. I just saw a name. I missed the name, but we've got somebody watching from Missouri. Deborah, so good to see you as well. So over the weekend, I just worked on personal stuff. Normally I'm working on different work things, often prep for this show, but I really felt the need to connect with my community and also with craft. And so what that meant was a couple of virtual cocktail hours I had one with my longtime knitting group. I've been in the same knitting group since way before I did this professionally, almost 20 years now. We had a lovely cocktail hour last night, and then I had one with in-laws. And during the one with my knitting group, I also worked on this project that I have now restarted 5 times because I decided I wanted to alter a couple things, and also I didn't check my gauge, so I needed to restart. But this is going to be I think it's Tsubami Bolero by Emma Wilford. I'm just going to show you. Isn't that so cute? Like a little cropped kind of boxy bolero. And I'm using, I think it's called Priestess. It's by Ritual Dyes yarn in this sort of black and gray, so it'll go with kind of everything that I wear. So that's mostly what I worked on this weekend while trying to spend as much time with my family who's all home right now. Obviously my son's home from college right now, and all the kids, they were on spring break, but now everybody's home, and my husband's working from home as well. So we're all here. So just spending time together, seeing it as an opportunity to just sort of be with each other. Okay, so if you have any great recipes, especially like one pot or crock pot recipes, that's kind of my jam, post them. If you've got any project ideas that are inspiring you, please post them in the comment section. If you see people regularly all the time watching Ask Me Monday in the comment section, maybe now's a good time for you to schedule a, virtual meetup. You can use Zoom or Google Hangout or FaceTime or WhatsApp or whatever, and have a little sort of, have these little pocket craft groups together where we can support each other. All right, so today I'm going to dive right in with our topic. So since we're all hunkered down at home, we may find ourselves with a little extra time to finally organize some things in our home. And for us, that may mean our knitting needles, our crochet hooks, notions, etc. So today what I'm going to focus on are how you can organize your needles and hooks and notions using 5 household items. And you can find everything that I'm telling you about today at VickiHowell.com along with appropriate links. Okay, so number 1, vases and jars. I love using vases and jars for organizing in general, but they're especially great for your straight needles. I don't even use straight needles a ton. I really prefer circulars for all of my projects, but I love how they look. And so I've got all these beautiful, these are Knitter's Pride, you know, I've got Royales and I've got some Symphony Dreams and some Zings. And I like to just keep them in, this is a vintage milk glass jar, but some of them are modern, and just display them. It also makes them really easy to work with. And you can also put your crochet hooks in just regular sauce jars, you know, pasta sauce or whatever, and just leave them around. Not only does it make them easy to grab from, but it's also just kind of cool. It looks kind of cool. If you're concerned, especially with your wooden needles, with the tips getting sort of, you know, snubbed a bit by leaving them, you know, storing them in a container this way, all you need to do is cut out a regular piece of craft felt or wool felt, plop it in the bottom, and that will protect them. So, number 1, household item, mason jars, sauce jars, vintage vases, regular vases are a great way to store both your straight needles and your crochet hooks. And honestly, even if you've got smaller drawers, they can sort of store anything. But I just like displaying a whole shelf of different tools like this. All right, number 2, also great for crochet hooks and double pointed needles. Our kids are at home right now, so they're not going to be needing those pencil bags and boxes, are they? So zip bags in particular are great for everything from notions to double pointed needles, but they work really well for crochet hooks. So just any of those zipper pencil pouches are perfect. They keep everything. If you can find a clear one like this one, that's great because you can see right away what's in there, and they hold those hooks. So I've got my, you know, all different types of hooks. These are my Knitter's Pride Waves, and I've got some Gingers and some Dreams. They all fit really well in those. Also in the pencil family are these pencil boxes. I've had this pencil box, I kid you not, for 15, 20 years, and I love it for double pointed needles. So there's a shelf. I also think it works really great for accessories. So like for here, I've got a needle gauge and I've got a stitch gauge, and then I've got a little pair of snips, but I also use it for double pointed needles. These are my Ginger double pointed needles. The longer ones, you know, depending on what the box is, may or may not fit, but this is perfect for these. I think these are the 7-inch or whatever. They might be a little shorter. And these are really great. So these are I think these are my Dreams and my Gingers. And so I just keep them in there. You can find these. Office supplies, you know, in general, and school supplies offer all kinds of great organizational opportunities. But raid your kids' school supply keepers, and they are great organizers. All right, so that's 2. I may not be doing them in the same order as I did them on my website. It's just what we're doing. All right, let's talk circular needles now. Circular needles can be absolutely unwieldy. It's just what they do. But there's a lot of different ways. Now, obviously, I'd like to just set aside that, of course, there are actual containers for all of these things made by our industry that, you know, you can use. But I'm just talking about the items, the everyday items that we have at home. So there's a couple things that I like to use to organize circular needles. One are just straight up zippy bags. We all have them. Doesn't matter what brand. But they're really great because they're see-through and they can contain pretty much anything. I like them for circulars, especially these bigger bags, because it doesn't really matter what, you know, how long the cords are. These are the new Smart Sticks by Knitter's Pride, and you can either just keep them in a stack, or I made this, gosh, when my when my middle child was born, and he's 18 now, so forever ago. You can make a little case, and what I did was just, you know, cut a piece. This was already quilted. Cut a couple pieces of fabric that were, you know, about an inch longer and about as much wider than the bags, and double it. You know, cut 2 pieces, sew it inside out, flip it out, hand sew that together, and then I zigzag stitch. Let me see if I can show you. I overlapped the bags and zigzag stitched them so they're all in this container. You don't have to get that fancy if you don't want to. You can just stack them in a drawer and they work really well. I also, gosh, maybe a couple years ago, did a demonstration on how to create a knit version of that same thing, and that is linked to in the post for today's video at VickiHowell.com. So that is number 3, the zippy bags. They're good for everything. And it's really great because you can rinse those out so they're not going back into waste, you know, and reuse them again. All right, so number 4 household item are shoe boxes. Either these plastic reusable ones or cardboard. Now you can get really fancy, and you can, if you've got a label maker, or really just some tape and a Sharpie would work. These are great because they're clear so you can see, and they just kind of, you can throw all of your needles in, whether they have packages or not. So I've got my, you know, I've got my Dreams and my Smart Sticks. Some are in the packages, some aren't. The other great thing about this option is pets love circular needles. I don't know what it is. Cats love to eat these. Dogs like to carry them around. So if you've got a lid like this, it also not only keeps them organized, it keeps them nice and safe. And then, of course, if you don't have the plastic ones, if you've got a regular shoe box, or this is a subscription box, you know, just the boxes that you get all of the things, you know, sent to you as well, that works also great. It's not clear, I mean, so it doesn't really matter. You can just write circular needles on it somewhere, or you could cut out a panel and then tape a clear plastic bag or piece of plastic, you know, what a paper protector would work great so that you could see through that panel. It's kind of up to you. So that is number 4, boxes for storing circular needles. Okay. And then, oh, and just a thank you to Libby, who just reminded me to ask you to share this video. It really helps if you know anybody that might find these organizational tips helpful. If you share the video, it helps people to be able to see them. So thank you for that reminder. All right, and our number 5 household item that is useful for organizing our knitting and crochet tools are travel containers. So this one might be, you may not think of this as much, but these little, I mean, our travel plans have been canceled, right? So we might as well use these in another way. So if you have an empty bottle, could even be an empty hand sanitizer bottle if we're being very timely. These work really great for things like, these are the Knitter's Pride wool needles, but like your tapestry needles, these are really great for holding those. You can see through them. It keeps them nice and safe. Again, if you have any worries about clinking, I don't. You could always put a piece of felt down there. Another great use for them are for the smaller versions of cable needles. Again, that works really well. And then the little lip balm or cream pots are great for little things like stitch markers, tiny safety pins, buttons, and the like. And all of those, often these come in a little clear pouch on top of it, and you can keep all of them in there together. So either way, you know, super handy, maybe unexpected, but we've got this stuff at home, whether we have the store-bought travel stuff or it's just empty containers from what we've already used. Then we're not putting them back into the, you know, we're not putting them into the landfill. We're reusing them, we're organizing, we're all feeling good about our time spent. So that is it. Those are my 5 recommended household items for organizing your knitting tools and crochet tools and notions. All right, so that is all I have for that. Just a couple of, you know, sort of last minute things. This is the last episode of this show for this month. Our next episode of Ask Me Monday is on April 6th. I will be back probably a bunch of times, though, for other things. April 3rd we have our April Yarn Yay unboxing. For those of you that don't know, I have a subscription club and I deliver little bits of yarny happiness to you every month. We have sold out for March, so thank you so much for that. But I'll be back on April 3rd for an unboxing for that. So April 6th, Ask Me Monday, April 3rd for this. And I plan on coming back probably, you know, relatively often to show you other fun just DIYs. And also I am working to help promote local yarn, fabric, and craft stores who are being affected by the closures due to the COVID-19 crisis. So when I can, I've already put up one video featuring 2 companies, and you can find that either on Instagram, my IGTV feed, or on Facebook, so that you can learn about those 2 businesses. I also have a post at VickiHowell.com where I'm slowly adding businesses who are closed but are still able to ship to you right now. Online sales are going to be the lifeblood for some of these shops, these brick and mortar shops that are you know, forced to close down right now. So it's really important that if we do have the extra, you know, couple bucks here and there, that we support them now. So I will be back with more of those videos. If you are a store that needs some help promoting your online sales, please check out, I have a post on Instagram, I have a post on Facebook where I talk about how I can support you. If you have emailed us your shop name and don't see your name up at VickiHowell.com, that is because you have not responded to Karen's email telling you what we need from you. It's really simple. We need your URL, and we just need, you know, 1 or 2 sentences about where you're at and what you sell. Super easy, but we just don't have the bandwidth to go and chase down all that stuff for you. So be sure to do that. And you can always email Karen, Carin, at VickiHowell.com if you have any other questions. And then I'm just asking for 1 to 3 minute videos showing us your store, introducing yourself if you like to, and I'll put them together and host them and share them with my audience. We are all in this together, right? And speaking of shops, although we've sold out of Yarn Yay subscription boxes for March, we do still have a bunch of other stuff, but I wanted to highlight that it's been really fun seeing people making the knitting fork DIY rope Scandinavian style inspired necklaces. I do still have some of these kits that includes the fork and everything available, as well as the knitting fork rope trivet. You don't need to have any experience to make these. I have a tutorial video, a couple videos that I've linked to, and also the kit comes with written instructions as well. So if you're looking for a little thing to keep you busy, this is kind of a clean, modern take on using an old Viking tool. And then we also have, I spoke to you at the top of the show about how I'm using Ritual Yarns yarn myself to make a cardigan for myself. We also have their moon pouches, which I love. This is another thing that's great for organizing. You can use this for your project, but this is the pouch that is so great for circular needles as well. So even if you know, this particular pouch is probably big enough for if you're making a wrist warmer, socks, small baby item, but it's also really great for circular needles because of the shape. So moon pouches by Ritual Dyes. I have black, and then I've got this terracotta blocked version as well. So you can find that at yarnyay.com if you're interested. All right, thanks again to Knitter's Pride for the continuous support of Ask Me Monday. I know they've had to, even though India is not seeing as many cases of coronavirus as other countries in the world, they are for now hunkering down like the rest of us. So I just sending out some love to them in India, and to all of you. Be kind to each other. We're all in this together, so we're pretty great together, so it could be worse. Sending so much love to all of you, and until next time, I wish you great health, love, and peace. Bye.